Hello, my name is Arsen Darbinian, and for Art Critic Video Analysis, I picked two different paintings by two different artists from the 19th or 20th century, Wassily Kandinsky and Mark Rothko. Wassily Kandinsky was a Russian painter and art theorist who is generally credited as the pioneer of abstract art. He was born on December 16, 1866 in Moscow, spent his childhood in Ukraine, where he graduated at Odessa Art School. He enrolled at the University of Moscow, studying land economics and began painting studies at the age of 30. In 1896, Kandinsky settled in Munich, studying at the Academy of Fine Arts. He returned to Moscow in 1914 after the World War I, then moved to France, where he lived the rest of his life, becoming a French citizen in 1939 and producing some of his most prominent art. He died in 1944, a mere 3 days prior to his 78th birthday. In 1911, Wassily Kandinsky attended a concert with other members of the Munich New Artists Association. The concert had a profound effect on Kandinsky and prompted him to befriend the concept's composer, Arnold Schoenberg. Shortly after the concert, Kandinsky painted Impression Third Concert. Kandinsky is regarded as a pioneer of the abstract expression movement, and his work is in marrying music and visual art in culturing significant even today. Kandinsky's use of primary colors in concert was dominant. A large mass of yellow was used on the right-hand side with visibility minimal feature except the brush strokes directly the movement of yellow outward. It is as if there is an explosion. Blue and red dominate the figures in the left-hand side, while black covers the upper center of the painting. In his book about the spiritual art, Kandinsky writes about the relationship of color with certain musical instruments and tones. Kandinsky considered color to be linked to a spiritual quality or emotion and regarding it as a tool to exert a direct influence upon the soul. Kandinsky associated yellow with disturbance, while blue awakened the highest spiritual aspirations. This is consistent with Schober's concert, where he broke traditional tonal convention that shocked the audience. Since this is Kandinsky's earliest abstract painting, we can still decipher the form of the audience and the piano. Kandinsky would move away from figures and forms in his later works, preferring use of colors and lines to depict the spirit of his subject. Kandinsky called the painting a direct impression of external nature of the concert experience. The yellow sound depicted in the painting can be closely related to Kandinsky's assertion that synesthesia, a disorder confusing the sense such that you would hear the color yellow or taste the harmony, is an evidence that there is unifying context to the different art forms. This means you could transform a color to a sound or a movement to an emotion and vice versa. Personally, I see movement and joy in Kandinsky's use of color. I imagine the audience confusion and shock when faced with something unfamiliar and novel, and this was captured in the chow of the figure in the left-hand side. Abstraction transcends the physical limitation of painting figures and forms and enables to capture concepts like emotion, movement, and sound. Mark Rothko was an American abstract painter of Latvian Jewish descent who was born on September 25, 1903 in Daugavpils, Russia Empire. Later he moved with his family to New York City. He is best known for his color-filled painting that depicted irregular and painterly rectangular regions of color, which he produced from 1949 to 1970. Mark Rothko was one of the primary movers of New York abstract expressionism scenes. He is known for his large-scale composition of expansive rectangular field of color. Rothko has rejected interpretation of his work that are simply aesthetic in nature. He aims to express basic human emotions, specifically tragedy, ecstasy, doom, and so on. He died in 1970. Untitled is an autonomous work and considered among the first of Rothko true murals. Rothko initially used Untitled in his solo exhibition in 1954 in the Art Institute of Chicago. Untitled is dominated by the yellow and orange colors. The rectangular coral fields are enclosed in well-defined border with subtle detail hidden in the brushwork. Instead of a spontaneous work, the painting feels more planned and deliberate, a departure from most abstract expressionists. The colors seem simple at first, but viewing in augmented reality will enable you to experience a sort of gravity pulling you inward. The well-defined boundaries produce an illusion that you are falling into the painting. Add the fact that the most prominent feature of the work is its scale. The painting is considered inconvenient because, unlike most of Rothko's work, Untitled is horizontally oriented. Mark Rothko commented on the importance of scale for his works. To quote his explanation, to paint a small picture is to place yourself outside your experience, to look upon an experience as a stereoscopic view or with a reducing glass. However you paint the larger picture, you are in it. It isn't something you command. The grandiose setting of the work enables us to plunge into the painting and experience the emotions that viewing it brings. My personal view of Untitled is of contrast. I see the colors associated frequently with fire, friction, and heat, but what is interesting is the order in which they are confined. The neat border delineated each color. In terms of emotion, the scale of the painting will play a large role and view the work digitally partially diminish in effect. I found a sense of open and unlimited freedom when I view the painting. I selected two prominent abstract artists. Vasily Kandinsky started a career in law and economics in Moscow and pursued the art in Germany and France. He is considered one of the pioneers of abstract art and the father of abstract expressionism. Mark Rothko was born in Latvia in 1903 during the Russian Empire and was brought to the United States by his father in 1930. A prominent figure in the New York School, both artists share similarities. Both are immigrants, challenge convention, and subscribe that art and emotion are linked. One key difference was Kandinsky believed that the art, color, and music are manifestation of the inner self, which Rothko used the art in induce emotions. Both understood the relationship of the arts and emotions, but the direction of their art is opposite. Kandinsky's outward, Rothko's inward. The artwork, Concert, and Untitled are significant paintings that enrich the reach of art. Both transcend the limitation through abstraction and are able to capture concepts, emotions, and feelings.